Hey everyone, it's Louis, and today I'm bringing the PPC News Daily for the 18th of October 2024, keeping you updated with everything that's changed over the last 24 hours. Starting off with the Google Ads status dashboard, as you can see, everything in Google's fleet of products is up and operational, which is fantastic for everything ads related, so hopefully that continues to be the case moving on for the next week. Jumping into the first piece of news, which is breaking news from Adrian Decker, announced by Tiago Goncalves, which is regarding a change with Performance Max and regular shopping campaigns in terms of the auction. So as you can see, it's an update across both of them, where starting in October 2024, Google will gradually launch an update that will change how Performance Max and standard shopping interact in action when they're in the same account targeting the same products. So with this, the change will basically take effect where instead of prioritizing PMax automatically over standard shopping, the normal auction dynamics will now apply, where the campaign with the highest ad rank will show instead. So it's an exciting update, and you can see that we're moving away from Performance Max being forced over regular shopping campaigns, and it will give more control and autonomy over shopping campaigns within e-commerce accounts, which is always great to see, especially coming up to the holiday period. The next piece of news comes from an update regarding Google and their overall change in leadership that's happening. So as you can see here from the title from The Verge, it's regarding Google replacing the exec in charge of search and ads, and with that he's now becoming the chief technologist. So that is Prabhakar Raghavan, which is basically the leader of Google Search, Assistant, Geo Ads, Commerce and Payments, is now moving over his role into Chief Technologist. So it came with a memo that was posted to staff on Thursday from CEO Sundar Pichai, which is basically announcing the change that's happening within the company. It's a big leap for his career, moving from the senior vice president position into chief technologist, and it's really exciting to see the change of leadership, because hopefully that'll bring new developments in Google holistically. And it seems like Google is also shuffling around other teams as well. So the division in charge of Google's Gemini app, led by Sissi Hassao, however you pronounce that name, I'm not sure, but with that they'll be basically joining Google DeepMind under CEO Demis Hassabis, which is where the Google Assistant team will also become part of Google Platforms and Devices team. So it seems like a few shifts that are happening, which is really exciting to see, and going into 2025 hopefully we'll see some improvements across the board. Jumping in, the next piece of story that comes in is announced by Adrian Decker, which comes from an article on Search Engine Land regarding the fact that they have basically wrote about the option for requesting competitive quotes and the button that's now going to show within Google Local Service Ads, which is causing uncertainty amongst advisors about costs. So the way that it works is that users will click the request competitive quotes button, they then select multiple businesses for quotes, users will enter a message, and then Google will send the request to all selected businesses. So it seems like it was kind of works similarly to how Bark would work, to be honest, and other lead platforms that we're seeing. So it's interesting to see, and I guess this is an aid for them to keep up with the fact that local service ads obviously prompts really attractive cost per leads. We can see here we have a pest control example, and generally it tries to get it between, in the UK, like £8 to £10 on average. It tends to be a little bit more than that, especially if you want to bid for a higher ticket inquiries that come through for what people are looking at. But with this, it's going to send it to multiple, providers with the request competitive quotes, which again is going to create a bit of disturbance, and obviously going to encourage a price-sensitive market, especially for Google Guaranteed and local services that we're seeing now. So the question that everyone asking is who pays and how much for this functionality? As you would imagine, if it's sent to multiple businesses, you should be sharing that burden and that cost that comes with it. So we'll see how that changes in future and how they're trying to approach this problem. The next news story comes from Patrick Gurn, and again announced by Adrian Decker, and this is by the fact that within Google Ads, the asset library, there is now an option to edit the image with AI. As you can see here, we have the previous example, which is basically just a mug of tea. Couldn't get my words out then. With that, you can see previously, and they changed it afterwards to it being in a more realistic setting, next to someone having a read of a book, or you can see someone do some documents here as well on a table. So it's really exciting to see the new development, how you can quickly edit take images and edit them with Google's AI into some sort of realistic setting and change the overall feel of that post and the image generally that you have for the ads asset. So this seems like they're opening up opportunities alongside the video changes and enhancements that we saw recently, open up new opportunities to repurpose your content into different ad formats, getting more out of less, which is obviously a great thing to see. The next news story again comes from Adrian Decker from Arpan Banerjee, who found this recently and sent it over, which is the fact that they can see saved segments are now officially announced by Google. So we saw some rumblings of this recently within Google Analytics with the saved segments that we mentioned, where you can save the segments for all users within a property, either from within an exploration or within the segment page in the admin section. And with this, the saved segments can be edited by any user with editor or higher permissions. And we can see a video here, which I'll link to in the description below, where you can view the full implications of that from that side. And the last story that comes from Adrian Decker here is from Georgy Zyakov, which is basically an announcement where Google will pause ads relating to US elections from serving in the US after the last polls close on election day November 5th, 2024. So this will include US election ads as well as the ads that refer to the US elections and their processes or outcomes. This is a temporary measure, and Google will notify advertisers when this policy is lifted. I imagine that's with a banner of some sort, or potentially for a post that we're seeing similar to this on the left side. The last notification or update or news story for today comes from Thomas Echel regarding Microsoft and how they're slowly but surely bringing out their consent mode. So you can see the UET impact as well as consent mode in a diagram. And we can see here with the Universal Event Tracking, or UET, it's the main pillar of the situation that we see in front of us, and the features such as conversion tracking, audience targeting, automated bidding strategies, and enables consent mode. With this, I'll leave a link to Thomas Echel's article or his profile in the description below, so you can read that in more detail. But we can see that it all leads towards something they called enhanced advertising performance with user consent, conversion tracking, audience targeting, automated bidding, and also enhanced performance. So I imagine it'll be a similar thing to what we're seeing with consent mode v2 and the overall move towards GDPR compliance. But again, it's good to see that Microsoft Ads is keeping up to date and staying on the tail of Google in the advertising space, because competence breeds improvements across the board. But that's going to conclude it for everything today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to keep updated with PPC news, and also comment down below if you have any developments that you want to cover or any questions about the topics today. But with that, I'll catch you in the next one.